Equity Mates.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.
Equity Mates, it is Bryce and Ren here, and we're super pumped because we're at the third episode of Is There Money In? And Ren, it is over to you.
Yeah, you guys went down the media route, and that makes sense. You guys are media guys. Ed's in radio, you're in podcasting.
So are you.
So Ed asked about music, and you asked about YouTube. Me, when you think of me, you think athlete. You think top of his game, winning gold and running for his country. And so it was only natural that when it was my turn to bring a topic to the table, I asked, is there money in Olympic gold?
Yeah, fascinating conversation. Not one I had any clue of before we went into this. I always thought that the money was in the medal itself, but let's see where it lands in this episode.
Let's find out.
Pick your mark.
Ryan Murphy is the backstroke champion.
And welcome back into Is There Any Money In? YouTube, yes. Asterix, is there any money in music? Yes. We have a live concern. We have a track out. Bryce, Ren, boys, we've got our first single out in the world. Daryl Braithwaite featuring Snoop Dogg, The Horses 2023, which is exciting. But we move on.
Yes.
We move on. And we are about to find out.
Is there any money in Olympic gold?
This is great.
Nice.
Now, the first two episodes we've done of this, there's been clear actions. You know, we've been able to make a song, we've been able to make a YouTube account.
Yep.
So I expect one of us to go for gold out of this episode. All right.
Well, what's the Andrew Hoy was the oldest, was he? The equestrian?
Yes.
He was in his 50s. So that's still
something
available.
like 8 Olympics or something.
Yeah, the sailing.
Do the numbers
I think,
work on that? 25 years?
I think so,
24
yeah.
years.
And then shooting.
Yeah.
Never too old to pick up a shotgun.
True. Yeah.
So, all right, there's some.
Now, it's important to note when we're looking at this, up until 1971, there was no money in Olympics whatsoever. Well, at least for the athletes, because you had to be an amateur. That changed in the 70s, and there's heaps of money in the Olympics now, covered in sponsorship. NBC in the US paid $7.7 billion for broadcast rights between 2021 and 2032. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, makes between $3 and $4 billion per Olympics.
Whoa.
Yeah, $3 to $4 billion.
Is that going down? Because you know how Brisbane got the Olympics? So my mum
Yeah.
worked on the original Brisbane Olympic bid for 1992, right, where we got laughed at. And now Brisbane got handed the Olympics because no one else wanted it.
That's because haven't the last few Olympics just been an absolute...
Yeah, you lose a lot of money on the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I think there's probably two separate conversations. One is it worth it for a city to host the Olympics?
Okay.
And then the other is, when it's on, do you get eyeballs? Because that's the driver of revenue. Who like the, TV networks around the world pay for broadcast rights, and then advertisers pay to stick. So $3 to $4 billion. So surely some of that money goes to athletes, you would think. At Tokyo, there were 11,000 athletes competing in the Olympics and 4,000 athletes competing in the Paralympics.
11,000, way more than I thought for some reason.
A lot of
When
sports.
you see the parade at the start, there's like 16 people come out for the
I think that wasn't that a COVID interrupted opening ceremony?
I actually don't remember watching a lot of the last Olympics now that I think about it.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
I remember it being hot. And I remember them having to continuously say, the skateboarding's coming up. And then it was just 14-year-olds falling over. And I'm like, I can watch that at the park.
Some like teen won it.
Yeah, Australian guy from America. And we had him on Have You Been Paying Attention? And the second before we were going on, he was ushering his, I think it was his girlfriend, but certainly a young lady he was with out of his room as she complained to why. I got to do TV, babe.
Respect.
That's living the life. Olympic gold.
TV, babe. Sorry.
So I just remember not feeling into the Olympics, and then when it started, being like, oh yeah,
What do you go to?
I love this.
What do you got? What are your top three?
So obviously, like the big sports, like swimming.
They're your top three.
But I love the sports that I'll never ever watch again, like the super niche stuff. My general rule on the Olympics is any sport where the pinnacle of the sport isn't the Olympics shouldn't be at the Olympics.
Oh, this is an age-old.
Tennis.
This is an age-old debate. Yes.
So it's like, get them out of here, and just all I want is people whose life is about Olympics,
But
like
any
kayaking and stuff like
Any
that.
sport
Yeah.
that isn't the pinnacle, any sport that has the pinnacle as their Olympics is a dying sport.
Well, that's what we're going to get into today, Bryce. Because if you don't have an NBA contract, or if you
Yes.
haven't won at Roland
Yeah,
Garros in the
yeah,
tennis,
yeah.
is there money in
this
winning
is
at
good.
the Olympics?
This is good.
Track cycling is my number one go-to if I was to go to the Olympics.
As we're finding in this series, every episode we learn something new about Bryce. He was a almost professional track cyclist. He was almost at the
Shut
Olympics for track cycling.
Yeah. Anyway,
The velodrome.
velodrome. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What were your distances?
Short and sharp.
What was the longest short distance you would do?
I think the time trial was like 5K.
But what was your best distance?
Like 5 laps.
And so are you a fast runner?
250. No, I hate running.
See, that is the interesting thing because that's short twitch muscle fibers, right? For the fast running. But it often doesn't correlate into the ability to have that short twitch slightly longer for cycling. It's not often you get someone who's a really fast sprinter and very fast at sprinting on a bike.
Well, I'm
But
not a fast
you were
sprinter.
good at running. You just didn't like it.
How'd you get into track cycling?
I had been riding this is derailing the convo.
Hey, it's still Olympic thing. It's all good.
I started riding a bike super, super young and just loved it. And then when we moved to Wagga, Dad knew a few mates and their sons were doing track cycling, and Wagga's a big sports town, and we had a velodrome.
Yeah.
And just got into it.
Were people going, oh, so I want to come and do it more properly?
Yeah.
Like AIS and that type of field?
Yeah. Well, yeah, made it to like nationals and was in the rep squads.
It was pretty good.
The hell?
Yeah.
All those sorts of things.
I mean, I didn't know him then, but he tells me it was pretty
Yeah,
good.
as far as I'm and then there are no records in Wagga. It's like JFK's autopsy.
No records.
All right,
Anyway,
so
I derail.
$3 to $4 billion for the International Olympic Committee. Now, if we look at other sports, a percentage of money goes to athletes. So in the NFL, 48% of the money the NFL brings in goes to athletes.
No, it's that high, right?
For the AFL 2017 CBA, 28% of the AFL's money goes to athletes.
Seems low, yep, okay.
What do you reckon the International Olympic Committee's percentage is?
Oh, this is good. It's 5.
Yeah, I was going to say 8.
You're both too high.
No.
0.
Wow.
So the International Olympic Committee don't give money to athletes.
Oh, right,
The
okay.
International Olympic Committee even have on their website, what do you win if you win a medal?
Nothing.
A medal.
Yeah, the medal is what
And
you
I
get.
think if
yeah,
you're in the,
right,
if
okay.
you're in the final and you're the top 8, you get like a something.
So there's
like
not even
something.
prize money.
No. So no.
The key is to be from a country
Well,
where you bring great honour.
Well, we will get there. Because
Yeah.
the answer to the question is winning money in the Olympic gold, not from the Olympics themselves. So the answer is no. So then it's like, all right, well, how do Olympic athletes actually make money? So there are 3 key ways. Now, the first one is stipends. So from your home country.
Yeah.
The second one is prize money.
Yeah.
Now, your home country might pay you to win gold. Not every country, and we'll go through some that don't. And then the third one is sponsorship. So let's start with stipends. This is where, if Bryce was cyclist for Track Cycling Australia, is that the organisation?
Sounds right.
Yeah, sounds right. They would pay him some money. Now, numbers out of the US, let's say you're a top level Team USA sprinter carrying the pride of America on your back as you go to the Olympics. What do you reckon you're getting as a stipend?
So, sorry, this is just while you're at the Olympics. Is that it? Or
No. So this can be
they're
like
just
throughout the
paying
year. This is like your salary.
income.
Yeah.
They're just, all right. So it's like Sprinters America United or whatever pays the top 20 sprinters a salary.
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 90,000.
A year?
I'm going to say 50.
$1,000 a month.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And that's for the top.
For the top. Yeah.
Whoa.
Olympic wrestlers in the US. These numbers are all from USA Today. The top ranked wrestler, $1,000 a month. Second, $600 a month. Third, $300 a month.
Oh my God. So these people are doing it for the love of the game.
God.
Yeah. You're not.
Or you have a second job.
Well,
What
we
are you
will
doing
get
this-
there.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, like, if you're a tennis
So
player,
Michael Johnson, when he was winning the 400 and the 200 bolt upright, was also like working at Combank.
well, well, when I was working at Coles,
Here we go.
when I was
Ian
one-
Thorpe was packing shelves. Right, Thorpe? You know box has your face on it.
the Australian high jumper, Brandon Stark.
yeah, but Mitchell Stark's brother.
Are they actually brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just remember this like all staff email going around being like, he's just won like the
Yeah.
world championships
Yeah.
or something. And I was like, wow.
And
Not
what
a
did
lot
he
of money
do at
in
the
Olympics.
what did he do at the Coles?
He worked in a store.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah,
well, there
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Good for the high
So you have
shelves.
to have-
But that is a quite incredible.
Yeah.
So he
It's
would have been
quite sad,
he would have
actually.
been handling boxes of Wheat Bix that had his brother's face on them.
Yeah, how many do you do?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. It gets so bad that Home Depot in the US actually had a program to offer Olympians part-time jobs.
Holy
Yeah. They stopped it. Don't know why. Probably, maybe not great workers.
Injuries?
I don't know.
Just too many people doing their
Yeah,
knee,
yeah.
Yeah.
lifting Tuscan pots.
But but even that program only paid the Olympians $25,000 a year.
This is so grim.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is so grim.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
So and girls.
Girls.
And
so you-
sometimes you can be one but competing in the other.
Yes.
So let's bring it home to Australia. So stipends, not really getting the job done. The Australian Institute of Sport offers means-tested grants of up to $17,500 for those deemed to have the potential to earn medals. And a further $8,000 can be awarded to fund, quote, international or domestic travel for training or competition,
Okay.
medical
It's tested
support,
against what?
if you've got cash yourself. So like the
but
equestrian
like
and stuff
rich
which
people
have
coming into sport.
yeah.
Oh, like,
Like-
is that the remember like when the Prince of Monaco would enter himself in the slalom in the Winter Olympics?
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen that footage?
I haven't. but-
Unbelievable footage. Even the commentators were like, God, here he comes.
Was he any good?
Prince of
Fascinating.
Monaco. God's sake, he's so... No, he's awful. It's so funny, though.
I respect that.
Maybe that's something, if you become really rich, you're just like, I'm going to try and get the Olympics.
Royal families don't have enough fun these days.
No, that's so true. That is so true. There is
Like, I would love to see Prince William just be like, I'm running the 100-meter sprint for Britain. So even that, add those two up, 17,500 and 8,000. Again, 25 grand.
Yeah.
You're not getting a lot of money from your home country,
Oh, man.
even if you're like a top athlete.
No.
There are competitions leading up to the Olympics that provide payouts, but it's not a lot of money either. The USA Track and Field Foundation says only about 5 track and field athletes make $15,000 or more from the sport.
So then the question is the prize money in your sport. Now, this is where your home country will pay you if you win. This is your incentive.
This I love.
Now, not every country does it.
Classic.
Let's name and shame.
Australia.
No, Australia
No, we
does
started.
Okay.
We started doing it.
it. Great Britain,
Yeah, that's
Don't.
right.
Norway, Sweden, and New Zealand.
Don't.
According to Forbes, they're the only 4 countries that don't.
The only 4.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And they're generally pretty successful.
Yeah,
at
they're
Olympics.
punch above their weight.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the Winter Olympics, Norway'd go broke because they win. Because they normally win. They normally win the
Slaloms,
all that.
jumps.
Skiing,
Yeah.
snowboarding. You
Biathlon.
guys know it. Yeah.
Whale clubbing. I think that went out in the early 1900s, but still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love how nervous you get when I say things like that, Ren. So I'm the one who works in public broadcasting for the
I
best
know,
part of
I know.
15 years. These are things I'm willing to say on air most days. And why do you get nervous?
We don't have a dump button here, you know?
I don't use it.
Bryce and I have gone 6 years without being cancelled.
You just end up selling more tickets. Look at Louis
True.
C.K. He's selling out Madison Square Garden twice.
So, yeah, 4 countries don't provide monetary incentives for athletes winning an Olympic medal. Most others do. Important to keep in mind that some countries can put a big prize up there knowing that no one's going to get it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. The question for both of you, which country would you most want to be a gold medalist from? Like, who's offering the most cash out
I
there?
am so excited for this because it's all about pride and it's all about we showed them and it's all about, we beat the great Satan, America, and we beat the little Satan, England, while we did it. So am I on the right track? I would say Iran.
You're going to say Iran?
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of oil money.
Yeah, I'm going to say if you manage to beat the great Satan and the little Satan in an event and you're Iranian, it is going to be good times forever.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
What are you thinking, Bryce?
I'm thinking a bit closer to home. I'm going to go Canada.
Insane, man. I'm not giving you anything.
And what's your logic there?
Similar vibe, next door neighbors to the US. Like, let's get it done. Let's beat these guys.
That's interesting.
Incentive
Okay.
to
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want to be the big guys in North America.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So while you've been, I've got Canada and I've just found Iran.
Come on.
Canada, $22,000 for a gold medal.
That's pretty decent. I guess it's almost an entire year's salary.
$22,000.
Yeah,
Oh,
when you
compared
say
to the stipend.
stipend,
Yeah. True. Double your salary. Iran, $125,000.
Well played.
Nah, there's a joint
There's
that gives you $1 million and a house. It's not Saudi Arabia. Where is it? This is going to annoy me.
I think the Philippines gave a house.
That was it.
But that's not the answer, at least according to this. Singapore.
Damn it!
Oh, so
I should have
okay.
got that.
$1 million. Is it $1 million?
998,000
Yes, I knew it.
USD.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
USD.
Oh, sorry. No, converted to AUD.
Yes,
AUD.
is
$1
that
million
in
AUD.
any sport? Yeah.
Yeah, any
Ah.
sport.
$1 million
Yeah.
bucks.
$1 million bucks.
And has that ever been paid?
No, I think they're yet to.
Yeah.
I think they're one of the few. I think maybe table tennis with a convert maybe at some point. I can't remember though.
Now, this was my follow-up question. How many Olympic golds has Singapore won throughout time?
Like one.
I think this might be just Summer Olympics, but I
Yeah,
don't
Summer
know if
Olympics.
Singapore is exactly putting up points in the Winter Olympics.
What are they big? Yeah, what are they big at? Like,
I'm going to go.
I'm going one.
I'm going yes, and I'm going to say. Now hang on. A second. You want me to say table tennis?
It could be zero.
But you don't know.
The prize is big enough. I'm
I
going
know.
zero.
You going zero?
Yeah.
Ed is really thinking
May
here.
have either table tennis or taekwondo.
You can have both of them, but neither of them would be right. They've won one gold medal in 2016 in the 100-meter butterfly. Shout out Joseph Schooling. One
Wow.
gold. Yeah.
And he
So
got
he took
it?
$1 million.
I guess so, yeah.
Wow.
What a legend.
Well played.
Yeah.
What about, and so Iran's pretty good, 125.
Yes.
I was pretty close.
Some of the other high-ranking ones, Kazakhstan, 338,000
Wrestling?
AUD. Now, to be honest, I don't know if any of these have won golds.
Yeah,
This is
that
just
feels,
what they.
that feels wrestling.
This is what they put on the table.
Yep, that's pretty good.
Malaysia, $320,000.
Yeah, good. Yep, fair enough.
Italy,
Judo?
$288,000.
Malaysia would want a badminton one.
Yeah. And then rounding out the top five, the Philippines, $271,000.
Hang on, did you say Italy?
Yeah, Italy, $288,000.
They got a lot last time, didn't they? Didn't they win a bunch of athletics they didn't think they were going to win, like the 400 for men and the 200 for... They got a lot more than they thought they were going to get.
Probably.
Genuinely don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there an
Yes, it broke the
opportunity-
bank. That's
is
why
there-
they got a debt crisis at the moment.
Is there an
winning.
opportunity for really good athletes to become citizens of Singapore?
So my mum's job...
Great question.
When
Yeah.
they don't like to hand those out though. That's the trick.
Yeah,
So they're like
quite hard, isn't
like
it?
Switzerland. It's
Yeah.
like you can be here, but who says you're going to have a passport? So
Yeah.
my mum's job when she was for the Sydney 2000 Olympics, she worked for the immigration department, and one of her jobs was to help fast track the visas for sports in that we were not good at and we needed to make up the numbers.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's now retired now, so they can't get her. And it was government sanctioned, so they can't get her for that either. Yeah, so that was part of her work to get through badmintoners and stuff like that to fast track their visas.
You know what? I have no problem with that.
Why does Australia care though about that?
National pride.
Is it just that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because there's money in it for the Olympic body, but is there money in us winning badminton
No.
for Australia? No. So it's just like we
have like a government department, like there's a minister for sports. Like it's a national priority to
It is interesting.
win stuff. I guess. Yeah, when you
It
when you
doesn't-
ask
the
that
numbers don't
question,
scream priority.
well, we haven't spoken about Australia's numbers yet.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. But that is a perfect segue. For context, we've given a number of countries, but let's give the US as context. 50,000 Aussie for gold, 30,000 Aussie for silver, 20,000 Aussie for bronze.
Okay.
America, in a very American way, entitle this Operation Gold.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
So, with all that context in mind, what do you think Australia put on the table for the Tokyo Olympics? Gold, silver, and bronze, if you want to guess
I
it.
don't reckon. Like
I reckon it was 50, 20, 10 grand.
50,
Okay.
20, 10, 180, 100, 50.
Elect Bryce Sports Minister because they're the numbers I want to see, but they aren't the numbers that we saw. 20,000 for gold, 15 for silver, 10 for
You know,
bronze.
in my head, it was 20 for gold, and I bumped it up because I thought you're going to say no. And I remember reading that. I think I spoke about it on the radio.
Really?
Saying, because my father-in-law coached Lauren Burns to Australia's only ever gold medal in Taekwondo at Darling Harbour, not far from where we're recording. And he got bugger all and she got bugger all money. So my personal experience is she got nothing, but she's very smart and she's turned that into a long career in coaching, mental coaching, nutrition, but that's through her own studies. So the gold medal is like and I won a gold medal, but she's done so much work after that to keep it going. The one thing my father-in-law does still have is all the really good Nike tracksuits from the Sydney 2000 Olympics.
Oh, that's it.
That'd be worth a lot.
Yeah, and
On
I know.
eBay, though.
And the other day he was wearing one. We're in Bali, and he was wearing one of the bum bags just down the street. And I said, "That's a collector's item. You take it off, sir."
Yeah.
And he just said no.
So there's money in that.
Yeah.
So there is a caveat though. And I want to get to that because this is a stitch up of a caveat. But just for context, 20,000, 15,000, 10,000. Emma McEwen would have left
Yeah.
Tokyo with $110,000 worth of medals
multiples?
around.
Yeah.
Serious outlier, though.
Serious outlier. Yeah. A lot of athletes would have left with nothing. Less interesting fact.
So did she get all that, or did they go, "Sorry, mate, it's if you are a gold medalist"?
Oh,
Because that
no,
disadvan-
I'm pretty sure you can double
Because that
up.
disadvantages people. That's always the
Surely
debate.
it's per medal.
Is
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Phelps a better Olympian than Carl Lewis? Because you go, well, hang on a sec. Michael Phelps had more events.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
there are
yeah.
150 running events, that's always the debate, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's only
that's
one
fair.
marathon, but there's 18 swimming events.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's per medal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right.
But if we're wrong, Emma's welcome to join us next episode. and correct us.
She'll have sponsors to plug.
So here's the asterisk and what I reckon is a stitch up. If you retire after the Olympics, the Australian Olympic Committee don't pay you.
Whoa! Retire,
Yeah. Like if you win gold and then you're like, all right, I'm good, I'm
Oh,
done.
you mean immediately after?
Well, just like
Yeah,
in like the
that's your
years.
last
Yeah.
Olympics.
If you're not going to the next Olympics, or you don't get paid.
That's horrific.
So,
Yeah.
but like, how long do they wait before? Do you have to pay it back, or how long do they wait? Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure.
But that
That's
is a
ridiculous.
great asset.
Yeah. In justifying their position, they said medal incentive funding is an annual athlete incentive scheme, not a reward program. So if you stop competing at the top level, you don't receive the payment. It's not for what you did. It's to keep you going for the next one.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that is
low.
shit.
I know.
That is shit house.
It's like, so that's not every
Although
country.
they have solved the biggest problem in sporting contracts, which is that you are almost always paying for past performance. So whenever teams in salary cap, NBA, NRL, NFL, whenever they get in trouble, even in soccer, my one great love, the major issue that we always have, or they always have, I don't currently own a team, is that you are almost always paying for past performance in the big contracts you give.
Yeah.
Past
So they
performance is
sort
no
of...
indication of future performance.
Oh,
as
that's one of
well.
your favourites at the start.
Yeah.
We are not licensed. We are licensed, but blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
I always skip that bit.
Now, not every country kills the fun like Australia. Most countries will just reward their athletes for winning.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, but not Australia.
Stiff to go back to Singapore
Now-
waving your medal, and they're like, "We'll get back in the pool, son."
Equity Mates, before we get to the final answer of is there money in Olympic gold, we need to interrupt and take a quick break so we can keep answering yes to is there money in podcasting. Now, we don't often speak kindly about Gina Reinhardt on this program,
Aha!
but there are
go.
private benefactors that also
Whoa.
offer medal bonuses.
Here we go.
Now, the amount that Gina offered Australian swimmers was not published. No one knows except for Emma McKean. But Gina gave medal bonuses to Australian swimmers at Tokyo, and her bonus was not dependent on whether they stuck with the sport.
Sports washing.
So full credit, Gina.
And then who was it where they went? When they bagged her, the netballers bagged
netballers,
her.
yeah,
and
yeah.
then she said what she was always going to say, which was, "Well, then I'll keep my money." And the netballers, some of them were surprised. And the answer to that is, have you not seen how she treats her own children?
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
So sorry, she gave them 10,000.
Yeah. And now I've got a
Is
clip.
that all?
Oh, no, sorry.
It was undisclosed.
I wasn't even listening to Bryce. It was undisclosed.
Oh,
I reckon it was
yeah.
more than 10,000.
Yeah,
She can
surely.
afford it.
Yeah.
She gave him a lump of iron ore, a lump of coal, and in the market these days, that's worth more than 10,000.
Take the ore, thanks.
Now, as you know, Gina put a lot of money into Australian swimming, and I guess as part of the contract, she got Australian swimmers to do ads for her.
Oh my
That
God.
that is old school.
In every corner of this great country, Australians are chasing their dreams.
Our patron, Gina Reinhardt, helps to give me the leadership and inspiration.
To want to be the best.
Our
is
patron,
fucked.
Gina Reinhardt,
And that was-
gives me the inspiration to be my
Hang on.
best.
And what's interesting about the second voice is that was Cody Simpson, of course.
Yeah.
Miley
Ex.
Cyrus's ex,
Yeah.
who was already a very famous pop star when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And so they've gone and said, mate, you're the biggest name.
Yeah.
You're going to need to do this. And that says something about his economic position that he's gone, yeah, no worries. That's almost back to our is there any money in music / is there money in marrying Miley Cyrus question? Because that's a fascinating situation.
Or Cody just wants to be known as a swimmer, so he just says yes to everything.
Well, he was, you're right, because the shot was him in the pool, which was unnecessary. But that is interesting.
There's so little money in swimming that Cody had to go become an international pop star before he could pursue his true
Better get some
love.
singles out.
So Gina Reinhardt was giving money to swimmers, but the AOC, and the AOC was putting money up. But if we do the maths, you win gold, you might get 20,000 from the Australian Olympic Committee. Add that to your $25,000 stipend that you might be getting if you're a top athlete. You're probably just at a living wage at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't include your cost of
Yeah, the cost of
coaching
actually-
and
Yeah.
doing this stuff.
medical treatment, all of that
Travel,
stuff. Yeah.
Food.
So they're the first two buckets, stipend and prize money. That leads us to the third bucket, which is a good bucket if you can get it, endorsement deals.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. Here we go.
So I'm going to start with another question. Who is the highest earning gold medalist of all time?
Sponsorships?
This is just cash, just anything.
Oh, do you mean any country?
Any country,
Oh.
any way of making money. Who's got a gold medalist and the most
What's
money
his
in the
name?
bank?
You're doing...
I'm doing
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt.
You're doing Usain Bolt or a very poor wiggle finger. I'm going to go with... I'm going to go old school. I'm going to go Bruce Jenner, seasonally adjusted
Actually,
in today's money.
yeah.
I'm going to go Bruce Jenner using today's money back then.
Sorry, I actually don't mean Olympic gold medalist. I just mean the wealthiest Olympian.
Oh, the wealthiest person to ever be at the Olympics?
Yeah.
Independently wealthy of being at the Olympics? Tiger Woods.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Tiger Woods?
He's a
Not even
billionaire.
top 5, apparently.
Whoa. Jordan.
Oh, but I don't think Tiger's played Olympics.
Oh, he didn't ever
Because
play.
golf is pretty recent.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jordan.
Jordan is number 2, $1.7 billion net
Someone's
worth.
richer than Jordan
Yeah,
that's been at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, no, hang on.
There's some skier or
Yeah,
something.
no, hang on. You're gonna be
Not a skier.
No, you're
Okay.
gonna say someone who also founded some bullshit.
Yeah, they're going to be
Yes,
like
that's
a tech CEO
I know
or
this
something.
game.
Yeah.
You're gonna say someone.
Isn't it the Monaco?
The Prince of Monaco?
Prince of Monaco.
He's not on the list, unfortunately.
Because that's
I don't
Monaco's
know.
money.
I'll give you a hint. Twins.
Twins.
Oh, the Winklevoss.
Yeah.
Rowing. That's right.
yeah,
One of
yeah.
those shitheads rode.
Both
Yeah,
of them
they
are.
both
That's
rode.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good job. I love when they
Epic.
come up.
Now, sponsorship for most athletes is really the name. Twinklevoss.
Good name for him.
It's really the name of the game. One Olympics Octagon Olympics, which is some sports management network, their managing director said, quote, "The only source of income for most Olympic athletes is through sponsorship. This is the name of the game, and if you're big, it works." Speedo paid Michael Phelps $1 million for winning 8 gold medals in 2008.
Oh, that's right. They challenged him to see if he could do it. It was like a bet. Yes.
I actually feel like $1 million for 8 gold medals isn't that good.
Yeah, that's
to
low.
be honest.
Yeah,
That's Singapore numbers.
Imagine if he jumped ship. If he jumped ship, he could have 8 quadrillion his money.
Ryan Lochte earned more than $2 million from endorsements in 2012.
God, he was hot.
Inflation between 2008 and 2012, you can see
Do you
there.
remember how hot he was?
Yeah.
So hot. Yeah, he was so hot.
I think most swimmers are pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Katie, and that's the episode.
All right.
Katie Ledecky, $7 million from TYR Sports.
Till we beat her.
Well, I think she's still got the sponsorship money.
Yeah,
so like, there's
Decent
serious money on the table if you're at the top of the game.
Yeah.
But most people aren't. And so there's this rule in Olympic circles and in sports management circles, the 48-hour period after Olympic gold is like make or break.
Wow.
Yeah, because when you win, you're splashed over the front
everywhere.
page of the papers,
Yeah.
you're everywhere. But then very quickly,
It goes.
Yeah.
no one
forgotten.
remembers you. And so literally like sports agents have plans if their athletes win gold on the PR they're going to do, how they're going to like break out of the sports niche and get into the mainstream.
Because then you end up with the odd ones, like that Stubbledy Cook guy that won the breaststroke or the butterfly out of nowhere. So you go...
Yeah, exactly. But
I remember talking to him on the radio and we were pumping up, like, what sponsorships are you going to get? And he's like, I'm trying to work that. Oh, we're going to get to that now because you're like, it's a surprise. So you've gone from... It's like being a one-hit wonder. You've gone from nowhere to having a number one single.
Yeah.
You better cash
But
in.
you're fast back to nowhere.
You are fast back to nowhere. Yeah.
So there's this, I came across this story of Kelly Clark. Do either of you remember her?
No.
She won gold at Salt Lake City in 2002 at the snowboarding halfpipe. So
Australian.
No, American.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. She deferred her freshman year of college to do it. And then when she hit this crucial 48-hour period which, quote, can make or break how much America remembers an athlete before viewers begin adoring the next gold medalist. And so she did a PR tour where she sat down with David Letterman and Jay Leno.
Yep.
She attended the Daytona 500 and then did some PR stuff with Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake, I guess when those two were still together.
Yeah.
But it's like the PR machine has to go into overdrive to lock in.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. But that's the problem with Australia is that you come back here and you go, oh, have you met Koshy? Yeah, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not the scale, as you guys would say. Wow. Okay, 48 hours. That's really good.
Yeah, so
Like,
I reckon
what
Usain
brand would
Bolt
sign that? Though?
I reckon Usain Bolt.
like Weet-Bix?
But like, why they're like, you're hot for like this doesn't make good sense to my eyes for the brand to do that. It's like, you're hot now, but like literally in
I see what you
7
mean.
days, you're gone.
It's like when they do the ads at the start of the season for cricket, and last year and this year. Oh no, last year they got to the point where none of those people were in the test team by the 5th test. So all the people in the ad had been dropped or got injured. And so it was like, you can't even shoot it 3 months out. Yeah. Wow. That's very,
For most athletes, sponsorship isn't the name of the game. So then the question is, what's an athlete to do?
Be hot on Instagram. Be hot. I follow a couple of Swedish runners.
Yeah.
And geez, those
pole vaulters, high jumpers.
Oh, it's my area. They are selling stuff and good on them. and they are looking good. But every fourth post is them in the gear saying off to compete. And you're like, oh yeah, that's right. That way I get around the are you following bikini models thing. No, they're athletes. It's a hack. It's a life hack for everybody.
Many athletes do work. Only a fraction of the athletes really be able to make a living from the endorsements.
Troop worked full-time and did get a little money from coworker donations, and Lithuania paid for her travel to Beijing, but it was still tight.
So I think that just gives a sense. She was asking her co-workers for donations, the country paid for her flights, and she was working full-time.
That's it. That's the whole story of most athletes is in that little grab.
Yeah.
So then
sad.
It turns to donations. You got to ask people for money.
Oh no.
Yeah. For the 2016 Olympics, thousands of donors donated $750,000 in total to help fund the trips of more than 140 Olympic athletes from around the world.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
To go to the Olympics.
Many athletes have turned to crowdsourcing to supplement their incomes. Monica started one to fund her way to Tokyo. It's now up to $30,000. Aaron's GoFundMe helped finance his way to the Olympic track and field trials in July.
In a matter of 22 hours, I want.
The final option is get a wealthy benefactor.
Oh, God.
There was that Steve Carell movie where he was like the wrestling coach. Remember that?
Yeah.
Foxcatcher or something?
Foxcatcher.
Yeah. But apparently, now this is reportedly, Gina Reinhart sponsored the top 50 competitors at the most recent Olympics for Australia. Reportedly paid them $525 a week.
Right.
Including, some of the best rowers.
Which is what you get for maths.
Yeah.
That's about the same as what you get to go on maths or Big Brother.
Both hard work, to be honest.
Yeah, both hard work. I'm going to end up with VD.
Now, that was according to Fox Sports that Gina was paying them that much. So
I would think that she would. Okay, so let's try and get into Gina's mind, right? Would Gina want that figure to be high or would she want that figure to be low? Keeping in mind all that she wants is people to like her and get good press.
Oh, she wants people to think she saved these sports.
So do you think that they would, whoever leaked that from her side, do you think they would, you know what I mean? Do you want it to be, wow, she gave him $500,000, or do you think that makes people go, why don't you give $500,000 to charity? Like, what do you think?
I think she wants it to be comfortably high.
So 525, what does that do to you guys when you hear 525?
I could live off that.
See, I feel like it's reasonable.
Yeah.
I think she's nailed it.
Yeah.
Her PR people have nailed 525.
Yeah. It's not like...
That's what I mean. It's not gross where it's like...
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And it's not... And
what the hell?
And it's not on the other side where it's like, oh, that's just... You're just trying to do it for the...
Yep. They've nailed it. They've nailed that.
For me, what it makes me think is, wow, these athletes mustn't have a lot of money that, they need a regular wage.
Well
like she's hit the...
Yeah, she's actually nailed that.
Yeah. Full credit, Gina. Didn't think we'd be pumping you up this much.
But you said only 50?
Top 50 competitors.
Yeah. 51st is rough.
Yeah.
They would have to go and pitch like Australian Idol.
How does she choose 50?
It's actually more valuable to go from 51 to 50 than it is to go from second to first.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
you're right. And how do you... There would be pitching going on.
Yeah.
You would have to have a pitch.
Yeah. How do you differentiate between sports?
Big lobby group for the swimmers.
Yeah.
They would have
the
some
lawn
lobbyists.
bowlers have no chance.
Tell it, Morgan. Yeah, it's great.
There's honestly a real role for a celebrity or a business person to become a benefactor for really niche sports.
That is publicity. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I should tell Hughesy, sponsor the air pistolists.
Yeah, or the lawn bowls, like classic example. That's a sport that Hughesy could play.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, he's a good runner actually. He could do like middle to long distance, the walkers. That's it. Okay.
That's a good one. Yeah. It wouldn't be a lot of money in walking.
A recent global study of 500 elite athletes found that nearly 60% did not consider themselves financially stable.
We're not sponsored athletes on cereal boxes and Gatorade bottles.
I started driving for DoorDash.
I worked at Panera, a bank. The financial strain is huge.
That's because unless they win a medal, Olympians don't get paid for competing at the games.
Let's wrap this all up. Is there money in Olympic gold? Unless you're from Singapore, probably not.
No. This is amazing because I would argue over the journey, whoever has paid to be in the Usain Bolt business has not got value. I don't think he's as ubiquitous. And like Puma, for example, I have never bought anything Puma because of Usain Bolt. I'm sure he's got a million other deals. What do you guys think? I think over the journey, he has been overpaid for the...
Yeah, I think he did incredibly well for the short period of time that he was around. No one really keeps track. He does keep popping up every now and then.
Really?
But now there's rumours that he's lost like millions of dollars been stolen from him or something.
Well, let's not forget that he played a trial game for the Central Coast Mariners a few years ago.
Yeah, didn't make
How's
it.
that am I? I went on their website to buy his jersey, Bolt 95, because I was like, this is going to be a collector's item.
Yeah.
And they hadn't even worked out a metric that they were going to have those jerseys ready to go.
That's sloppy
That's just-
from them.
that
That's A-League.
That's your A-League,
shit.
baby.
Well, before I answer the question, is there money, Ren, is there actual money in the medal itself?
Oh, how much gold
Is
is
it
there?
a gold medal?
Gold plated. Now, what if I'm buying them on eBay? Because they do come up occasionally when people fall on hard times. You can buy people's gold medals. So people will sometimes sell the gold medal if they're having trouble. In fact,
athletes?
Yes.
Because they don't get paid anything.
That's right. So you can actually, like Oscars and something like that.
In a gold medal, there is 6 grams of gold and 550 grams of silver. So it's essentially a silver medal still.
Yeah, it's a silver medal.
When you go, there's a silver.
According to Yahoo Finance, if you were going to just sell the medals based on the value of the material, £646 for a gold medal, £372 for a silver medal, £3 for a bronze medal.
Nothing.
God, I hate bronze. Sorry.
So does the market.
It's so shitty when I hate
Jeez.
So here are some stats about it from the Olympic athletes themselves. Of a survey of 500 Olympic athletes, 60% did not consider themselves financially stable.
Jesus.
And this stats from 2012.
Oh my gosh.
But in 2012, so an Olympic year, half of the US track and field Olympic team made less than $15,000 from the sport, inclusive of stipends from the sport, prize money, and not just from the Olympics, but prize money throughout the year, and sponsorships. Now, for context, the CEO of USA Track and Field makes over $1 million a year.
And there's always the rub. That's always, I had a friend of mine who was dating an Olympic swimmer once, and she said that his way that he made money is that after the Olympics and after the meets, they've got a series of privately funded skins, whatever they're called, around Europe. And he would go and swim in those and make a bit of money, but never enough.
Wow.
And I always remember that. Yeah, that was fascinating.
Wow.
And to leave you with one more stat that just shows the disparity between mainstream sports and Olympic sports, for want of a better term. In 2013, Michael Jordan made $90 million, which was more than all of the athletes in Sochi 2014 combined.
Shit.
Yeah, what a great way to sum it up.
Right. So, no, there's no money.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I thought there would have been more than that.
You've got me there. I'm shocked by these figures.
That is awful.
Now, we've reached the end of our first tranche of Is There Any Money In? Let us know, this is your social people's jobs, what other things you want us to investigate? Is there any money in? Let us know what topic you'd like us to investigate, and we will be back with another series shortly.
Love it.
Perfect.
Love it. Had a lot of fun. That was good.
Yeah, thank you both. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to my sponsor, Gina Reinhardt. The way you extract that ore, it jumps out of the ground into your buckets because it's so excited to be there. Thanks, Gina.
You have been listening to an Equity Mates Media production. In the spirit of reconciliation, Equity Mates Media acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. This podcast is intended for education and entertainment purposes. Any advice is general advice only and has not taken into account your personal financial circumstances, needs, or objectives. Before acting on general advice, you should consider if it is relevant to your needs and read the relevant product disclosure statement. And if you're unsure, please speak to a financial professional. The hosts of this podcast and their guests may have positions in the companies mentioned. Equity Mates Media operates under an Australian Financial Services Licence 540697.